Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be doing a retro review for you. This one is of my favorite action figure line, the 30th anniversary collection, and one of the coolest figures released in the 30th anniversary collection. It is the battle damaged Darth Vader. Pardon the glare, but we'll get into the figure where you don't have to worry about him in the casing. First off, let me just say, fantastic packaging. This packaging just like makes you want to buy it. Like, you see this on the peg and your eye is immediately drawn to something like this. And I feel like even if this figure, which I don't believe it was, had to be a peg warmer, it still would have been cool to see just sitting there, 5,000 of them on the peg, because this packaging is just so cool to me. I just really like the angles of it. Some people don't like this packaging, but I really do, and I love the art right here with battle damaged Darth Vader. Darth Vader is, I mean, such an iconic character in Star Wars that people just love him, and battle damaged version is just like, oh. So I'm sure I was just getting into Star Wars when this happened, when these figures came out. Well, I was in it for about 2 years, but I didn't have any like sources to like the fandom or to know what figures were coming out. It was just, you know, you go to Walmart one day and they're there. And I cannot imagine people who were a little bit more plugged in than me would have thought when this figure was announced at like a toy convention or whatnot, because I just think it looks so cool. This has been on my list for a long time, and I found it at Madness Games and Comics in Plano for the low price of $14.99, which is not terrible. It's also not like super great, but it's fine. Totally worth it to me. The only thing that could have made this figure better is if it came with a coin. So here we are, a couple of the stickers that we go through. This is obviously from The Force Awakens. We have an exclusive cheat code inside, but I'm not going to share it with you guys because it's mine. Just kidding, nobody plays the game anymore, but I got it and I played it and I loved it, and that's where this figure is inspired from. It also has a 2008 Star Wars The Clone Wars special offer. You get a sneak peek with an exclusive Captain Rex figure, which I don't know what one that is, unless it was just an early production of the original Captain Rex. So that would have been cool to see. With Star Wars The Clone Wars, I really like, it's like shiny blue, you can probably see it reflecting in the light. But I really like that offer sticker there, that looks pretty cool. I almost don't want to open this figure because I just love the packaging of it, but I don't have an opened one of these, so if I get another one, I definitely will keep it packaged. But yeah, this would have probably also been cool to see something coming up, because we hadn't had anything brand new since 2005, which sounds like a long time from, you know, nowadays we have movies every year if we're super lucky. That was sarcasm. Anyways, moving on. Sorry I'm rambling, but you can see The Force Awakens right here, and then on the back of the figure card, there's a bio, some art, a picture of the figure, a fact file section, and then all the figures in the wave. So I love these card backs as well. They're just full of information rather than like half of it being legal stuff. All the legal stuff's crushed down there, and I prefer that. But very cool. So let me go ahead and open this guy up and give you guys a closer look. Alrighty, so here is Vader out of the package, and let me just tell you, it hurt a little bit to open because that packaging is so beautiful. But before we go into the figure, I do want to show you some of his accessories and some other things that come in the packaging. Boy, was this the time to get figures. It came with a stand, you know, specifying the type of figure that it was, battle damaged Darth Vader, and what part of the Star Wars galaxy or universe it was located in, so expanded universe. So this stand was like a little fact file of information. Really cool, especially if you got your figure's name, if it was a more obscure character. You also get a couple little, you know, I guess readable goodies. I wish you still got these. I love looking at old figure waves in the little pamphlets that they used to give. This is the code for The Force Awakens. And then here is the Captain Rex offer. I do remember this redemption certificate now, but I paid little attention to it because I didn't know how to do them. And then of course the best part of opening the figure, just kidding, is the really cool, it's super long, the little advertisement leaf. So it's probably so bright you can kind of see through it, but it gave you all the things that were out at the time from Hasbro and everything on the back too. It's always a really cool thing to look back and see. So moving on to the accessories. We do have a Darth Vader helmet here, and as you can tell, hopefully my finger helps color it in. It's missing the other kind of eye cup, which you're supposed to be able to fit this on Darth Vader's head, and it's supposed to complete his helmet. So you have that. We'll try that in a minute. It's very shiny. It looks pretty good. The sculpt looks decent. So there's that. You also get a part of his belt, which it just looks like literally a puzzle piece, and it's got a little peg right here to go inside of his body. again, we'll get to that. And then he also comes with, I think that this is like Shin armor. So a Shin Guard right here, which is also very shiny. And it opens at the back, because I think that Darth Vader is battle damaged, but they made it to where you could like put all the pieces together and he'd be fine. He also does come with a red lightsaber, which looks a little maroon, but that's fine. So moving on to the figure itself. He comes with a really large soft goods cloak that has holes in it, if you can tell, to help with the battle damaged effect, I guess. He looks overall pretty good. The eye cup doesn't really line up to where his other eye is if you look at it, but that's okay. He looks super cool. You can see the scarification on the top of his head and a little bit more detail on his helmet. I think it looks very good. Considering he's in 3 3/4 inch scale, I think the detail on this is fantastic. He does have some injuries right here in the shoulder, so I take that back. Initially thinking that all of his armor would like make him whole again. He's still going to show a little bit of damage because I don't have anything to cover that piece, but some damage there, some damage to his other arm, which is really cool. Damage to the torso as well. And then you can see his, what is it called? Robot leg. There's a fancier name for that, but I can't think of it at this very moment. So overall, it's really cool. This is the first time I think that you really get a look at a battle damaged Darth Vader. They hadn't before really done one like this, and that was something that was so cool about the Force Unleashed video game, was that you were like super powerful and a Sith, and Darth Vader got all damaged, and it was just really neat. If you haven't played that game, it's an oldie but a goodie. I also just noticed that this little piece spins around his wrist, so I'm not really quite sure why, just maybe as a loose piece of armor. It doesn't, I think it fits in just kind of like that, like a puzzle, but you could spin it around if you preferred. I don't know. Keep in mind, you know, Darth Vader's arms and legs are animatronic, or Cybertronic. So, that kind of thing would be showing. Obviously this is skin, and then the rest of it is actually like fake arm. But I think overall he's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and put his helmet and stuff on and try to like kind of complete his armor and see how that looks. So there's him with the helmet on, and that actually looks pretty good. I'm pretty impressed. The lineup is decent. For something like that, I think it looks really cool. It looks very good and complete. I just wish that Hasbro would go back to this kind of quality. It's just fantastic. I really don't do a whole lot of collecting of 3 3/4 inch figures anymore, because they just don't have the quality that they used to, and they don't compare to the quality of the 6-inch figures anymore. So I'm really picky with what I get for the most part, which is why you haven't seen as many retro reviews. So his helmet looks okay. It's a little bit inaccurate. It's like kind of probably tall. You can also see the back here. But I think overall they did a great job with that. So putting on his little torso piece, it's like literally a puzzle. Yeah, it just snaps in like that. So again, you can see where it connects, but I think that it looks pretty good. Personally, I display him with as much damage as possible, but I do like that they give you that option. And then you also have the Shin Guard, which is just going to cover the metal part of his shin. It's not going to cover the top of his like thigh skin or his foot, as you'll see in just a moment. So there you are. You can see his knee and his foot don't match up. Also to note, his like little skirt is also kind of torn up. That looks really cool. So overall, that is Battle Damaged Darth Vader from the 30th Anniversary Collection. A glimpse into the Force Unleashed in 3 3/4 inch figure. I think that they did a very good job with this. Really, there are few complaints about this figure. He has very good articulation as well. His head does not, it's not on a ball joint, but it does rotate a little bit. Keep in mind, it's Darth Vader articulation, so it doesn't have to be perfect. He's a robot. Of course, he is a Sith too, but he does have decent articulation in the shoulders. You go all the way around, and then in the elbows, also very good. It only goes this way. You can't turn it to the side. Just articulation in the forearms. There's no wrist articulation. Twisting in the torso. This was really before they started doing ball joints. I think that the ball joint in the torso is really introduced towards 2008 with the Clone Wars figures. And then he also has movement in the hips. And they don't go out, but you can kind of pull them a little bit. And then movement in the knees, and then movement in the ankles. So really articulated for the time. Very, very well detailed for the time. I think that this was an A+ figure, and one that probably everybody wanted. So I am very happy to own him now. Let me know what you guys think of him in the comments below. And as always, thank you so much for watching, guys. Have a great day.